Good morning YouTube. It is day one of my 10-day training block right now. We're having a really big day ahead of us. I'm excited to show you and have you follow along. So day one of my training block of 10 days is always going to be mainly two key sessions, which is first starting off with a VO2 swim, 50 reps, main set is 20 times 50, followed by 4 times 400 muscle work with pedals, followed by 5 times 200 again with acceleration. So I teach my body to also up the cadence again when you're tired in the end. Total 5.4k. Then we're heading into a 30-minute aerobic run after eating and a little nap, so that I will just do on a treadmill. It's really cold and snowy and I want to make sure I hit those paces a little bit, and a little bit of heat stimuli as well on a treadmill is always good. And then in the late afternoon, early evening, we're hitting a VO2 bike. We're doing 3 sets of 10 times 40-20, so 40 seconds at 500 watts, so VO2, and 20 seconds super easy. 3 sets of that with 5 minutes easy in between. I'm just gonna finish my coffee. I already had a big breakfast of oatmeal, quite a bit actually. So after digest, take my time. I always get up at 7 in the morning, and now I really load up on coffee, but I only have coffee in the morning and then no more coffee for me after, so I can sleep well in the evening. A little bit of procrastination going on for sure, like 15 minutes sitting around there playing something on YouTube, like how to improve that, but I know why I did that. My subconscious knows there's a whole bucket load of pain coming up in a swim now, so you are a bit nervous even the night before, because for example those 20 times 50 VO2 reps, after about 5 of those, mentally I'm about to quit. So you have to really focus, okay, break those down in small steps, because 20 of those, by the 5th rep, I'm hitting those at 30, 31 second, 30s mostly. Like my lungs and heart is about to explode. So I'm gonna be popping in here the sports drink as well. For this set I need it. It takes me a good while. So this is just water with some sodium, at least 600 milligrams I pop in there, and 60 grams of carbs and plain old sugar I pop in there. Helps a lot actually, not just for performance, it's less the thing, but that, you know, I come out of the session as little fatigued as possible, but I will be very fatigued obviously. I don't swim with a training partner, I actually swim alone 99% of the time, and the only training partner is my clock. Today I had a really low resting heart rate and a very high HRV, so 43 resting heart rate for me is very good, and a 58 HRV. Into the snowstorm, but it's only a short walk away for me. No coincidence, I picked my home as close as possible to the pool, so because I swim 6 days a week, so it's very little resistance. Everything is easy as possible. I have the gym within 2 minutes of walking with a treadmill and everything. I have everything close by and as simple as possible, which is good, but it also can drive you nuts because you literally, I live like a monk. I haven't been many times. I don't go outside 1 to 2 kilometers out of my flat, which can drive you nuts. So I also found a rhythm to break my monk life a little bit, to instill some sort of balance. All right, I'm gonna be doing the set now. I'll let you know afterwards how it went. Wish me good luck. All right, I just finished the set. It was a really interesting one and a lot of learnings actually, maybe also for you, because there's a system I kind of adopted. So I had a warm-up, so about 1,000, then that felt so good. Then I did 20 times 50 and I started, and the first 5, 6, 7, I felt I had a good rhythm. I was not crazy out of breath, so that kind of indicates that you're, from a cardiovascular side, recovered, system fatigue's okay, but the times were kind of slow. So I tried different things. So I was, for example, and even at 34, 35 seconds even, which normally I can swim this quite easy, not at all at the rhythm and effort I did then. So if it's not rhythm, so basically cadence, and it's not your system fatigue, can only be one thing that slows you down if everything feels right, and then there's distance per stroke. And distance per stroke was definitely not good, and I know why, because I hit muscular fatigue much earlier than the normal. And the reason for that is definitely in this case that I did yesterday the gym, and I ruined the session today to some extent with that gym session, because it was supposed to be an activation session with some weights. I threw some weights around, some dumbbell presses, upper body stuff, rotator cuff, and I felt the muscles on that side were pretty loaded already. And that definitely was the one that slowed me down distance per stroke wise. So then I had several options what I could do. I could either say, okay, I'm aboard chip and just let it go. Or I can say what a lot of people do, they just keep going, finish the set. You're gonna be slow at times, but you hope that the cardiovascular input and also somewhat muscular input is still gonna make you a better swimmer. I personally think it's a really bad idea, because swimming is number one, biomechanics and your stroke, that is one. And then there's a long break. And then at some point comes cardiovascular fitness and all those things. So if you're not hitting the strokes that produces speed where you want to go, which is especially important for like the high-end mechanics, for aerobic, that's kind of a bigger range. But for example, I know what I did last week's for those 50s. I was between 30 and 32 seconds, same stroke rate, everything the same, just the muscular fatigue wasn't so early. So what I did then, after 8, I just saw I'm drifting to 35, even 36 seconds, which for me is absolutely not normal at that stroke rate and the way I felt. So I cut it in a sense. I did 500 meter easy, put a lot of carbs in. So kind of that's how I planned the session initially as well, that I can always have these 500 in between to kind of reset if needed. So I swam 500 and then I had another 12 times 50 to go. I did 8 before, as I said. And those I did then and I could kind of hit the 32, 33 mark, which was okay, but I felt that it was just muscular-wise pretty work from the session yesterday. So I'm just at the beginning of learning about this 10-day block, so there's a lot still to learn and what to do and all the small details. After that came the session where actually the muscular fatigue benefits you in a sense, 4 times 400 with pedals, and there was muscular fatigue very high. I hit muscular failure pretty early, but I could still keep the strokes in the 120 pace. And then after that, 5 times 200 with also speed in there again with 50 meter, 25, up to 50 meter, really getting that stroke rate up again, which is important for in the Ironman, that after 2,000, 3,000 meters, you can still pick it up, do surges and all those things. So overall, I'm very happy, learned a lot, how to adjust the system, got a good session out of it. So my upper body, muscle-wise, feels pretty much ruined now, which is the goal of this session, that I come out of it with muscles, everything from rotator cuff to deltoid, latissimus, arms, everything is pretty much game over. And the gym is something, that's why I did it, is something, without the gym I wouldn't be swimming like the way I do, that's for sure. But also even before key sessions, gym. But all I gotta do now to adjust this problem is that I gotta reduce the weights for upper body by about 15-20%, something like that. Just upper body mainly, because I did like 27.5 kilograms dumbbell press, lat pull, 103 kilos, those kind of things. And I just gotta reduce this a bit so I don't have muscular fatigue. That's the number one rule for the gym actually, that it's not allowed to affect swim, bike, run the next day. So it can work a little bit, activate it, everything, but I find weights that I'm not affected to, for example, tired legs on the bike, or something like happened now in the swim. So just those fine tunings, but they're important. Back home, short walk. Now it's time to eat. I want to show you what I have for my lunch. So here we go, that's my lunch. As you can see, this is oat pasta. I try to avoid the white pasta. First, it's not so good for my gut.
spikes insulin a bit, I feel bad with it. So I eat mostly either this kind of stuff, the Finns will know it. So kind of the duck pasta I eat, good for the gut. And or oat pasta, which I'm a big fan of, only learned in Finland, so you can check that out. Then I have some chicken here, also something I had in my last diet. As some of you know, I kind of cut the fat short, and then I actually fell a bit behind with calories. So I'll have half avocado with this meal, and again half an avocado with dinner later. Then for sure a good amount of olive oil, at least 500 calories of olive oil. Then a little bit of Himalayan salt for sodium, and just for some taste, roasted garlic and black pepper. Black pepper is actually important because black pepper has been shown to that the body can absorb the nutrients up to 1,000 times better or something. So then I'll still have some veggies with that, defreeze it, or I sometimes cut some fresh paprika and also those kind of things. So I have that with it. And for sauce, real fancy today, just some ketchup, but it's actually tasty, especially with this mixed together. So that will be my lunch. So voila, here we have my finished product. I'm gonna eat that right now. On these days when I have like 2 quality sessions and a run in the middle, I'm a little bit on the clock, so the whole biorhythm is important, and also pre-cooking, so I have the food ready. I can't be after the session coming here and like, oh, let's cook for half an hour, 45 minutes. No, I gotta eat right away and then rest. So at least half an hour nap, preferably 1 hour. So in total around 2.5 hours, maximum 3 hours rest, more like 2.5. Then I hit the run, it's just a 30-minute run. Then again, some food, but we come to that afterwards. Getting ready for my aerobic run. Will just be 30 minutes. We'll be building them depending on general load and fatigue and TSS. I'll be building them to 45 minutes max, which is around 10k. But now it's just 30 minutes, 5-minute warm up. We'll do it a bit easier pace, around 5:30. Go to mostly by heart rate, a little bit also this MEF system as well, which is really good. Actually, you can have a look on his website. It's really good if you have no idea about your zones. I know my LT1 aerobic threshold is around 163, but I want to make sure. Because for example there it says if you haven't been consistent in the last 2 years, you should subtract 5 from that heart rate, and I haven't been consistent. I've been sick a lot last year, more than ever, so pushing aerobic runs makes no sense. But I'm not going to be running zone 1 except for my long run, one of them. That is for sure something I learned. No more easy running like that. A lot of bang for buck in zone 2. But it will be more like a low to mid-end zone 2. So heart rate goal for this session is 145 to a maximum 150, nothing too wild. Pace will probably be around 4:30 minutes per K to maybe even 4:45, because with the gym here is quite a bit of heart rate creep with the heat and everything. But it's a good stimulus to get adjusted for Texas. Pretty good, nothing wild, 30 minutes, a bit over 6k, slowed it down a bit to even 450 pace, just to really keep that heart rate nice and low, because I still feel I have the swim in me, even my upper body, you can feel it, so nothing crazy, just aerobic running, ticking over. Alright, we are back from afternoon snack. What we got here is 4 kind of breads with a bit of butter, then a 3-egg omelette with some cheese, 4 calories, also made in a pan with some olive oil, again 4 calories. So I have proteins, fats and carbs, which I'll need for the session later. And again, here's some vitamins, healthy, it's a full orange, and also some carbs. Gonna get that down, digest, rest, and then we're hitting the bike for the VO2.
Alright, it's 6 p.m. now. We're gonna hit the VO2 bike. By this point, I'm feeling pretty frosty. So I have some good sessions in the bank already, which is to expect that you feel tired. It's dark out, all those things. But yeah, you gotta watch something, have some music to hype you up, see how your body is feeling, and then just try to push. We have a 15-minute warm-up with all easy with 2 minutes of tempo, 350 watts. I did that already, so I have 1 more minute left of easy riding before I get into the first set of 3 of 40 20s. The 40 seconds on, I'll do at 500 watts, all in aero position. I only care about watts in muscular function in aero position. That's where I race in. And yeah, then 20 seconds easy, so always alternate 40 seconds, 500 watts. And then 20 seconds, I don't know, 150 watts, whatever, it's quick to change. I'm watching Ironman Nice, the full live coverage. Gives good motivation to be also there one day. But it's all about this year, this journey. So it just helps when you're tired, get perspective. So most of you guys do probably, but go watch a race or something you're training for, something you signed up for motivation. It's always, you know, helps a lot for the why, because we train to race, right? So, hey guys, I gotta here get to work. $500. I feel good. 2 done. Legs exploding. It's the first time back doing this type of work, and you can feel that. So the first time you're doing lactate work like this, you expect to feel horrible. That's me right now. Last week I had my first block, but I had some other stuff, not this lactate clearance work, which is nasty. But yeah, third set now coming up. Stay with me, or we can make it. 2 at a time. Alright guys, I did it, barely. That was not good. Let's hope next time is better. That's why you train. If you like this kind of training content, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you in next week's video. Ciao!